Today we're going to be reacting to a collaboration, apparently, between Play Astronomical and Skybrows. I have not yet seen this. I wanted to hold off on watching this till I actually got to watch it on stream, right? Because I have quite a bit of fun doing lyrical and visual aesthetic analysis. I'm not as good with musical analysis, right? I couldn't tell you what instruments are being necessarily used to make what, but I have enough fun already with the visual style. And yeah, we could see that he's been able to update his character design as he's learned how to prompt. He explained to me that he was having difficulty getting specific things done in his character design because of limitations with the AI, but over time, by learning how to describe what it is that he wanted specifically, he was able to actually concretize. He was actually able to get the vision closer to what it is he wants it to be. Right? I do like the jacket though, the fucking galaxy jacket. So you got a reflection of the inner and the outer here. 2 clicks, beep, boop, sounds like music, right? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. He's on top of a building. So this image is being projected. This light of the galaxy is being projected onto the top of a building. And yeah, obviously he's the only one who can be seen. Everyone else is concealed by shadow, right? Concealed by or enveloped in shadow, which by the way is why it's called moving shadows, right? But if you look over the edge, you can see the rest of the city. Revisitation, your old habits, right? Are you talking about the song? the Khairu Al Macarena song? Because I am trying to fix all of the mispronunciations in there, because I know the Arabic was pretty fucking subpar in the original version, but I'm trying to get the Arabic to be as close as I can to, you know, exquisite in there, so the bite of that particular song stings even harder. But you know. Moving shadows. I do actually like that image. Hold on. Moving shadows. Like, again, the shadow is already there, and it's just waiting for Kirsha to catch up to it. And there's a Korsha right there in the other chair. Now, shadows have a multiplicity of different meanings and uses depending on how exactly you decide to use them, right? A shadow can represent a thing without capturing it, right? This is the usage used, for example, in Platonic imagery, right? Where instead of being able to see the thing directly, you only see a reflection, a dim cast of the thing instead of the thing itself, right? This is oftentimes used in worldviews where they don't believe that your sense perceptions can actually touch the real world in any meaningful way, right? Hence, again, it was used in the allegory of the cave by Plato, whereby in the allegory of the cave, the only thing that you can actually know a thing by is the shadow cast upon the wall, because the the people chained in the cave are chained in such a way that they cannot turn their head and actually behold the thing casting the shadow. Another thing is, like in Egyptian philosophy, the shadow or shut is actually also a stand-in for the image itself, right? So the shadow or image is itself part of a person, so it's not just like your physical shadow, the obstruction of light onto the ground, right? That's not just what the shadow referred to in Egyptian. It also referred to any sculpture or image of a man made in that particular way, because again, as a shadow is an image of a person projected through obstruction onto another surface, so too is, in a sense, any other image a projection of that person onto some other medium, right? So there's also a psychoanalytic sense of the word shadow, of, again, that part of yourself that you don't particularly like, so you suppress it down so that you don't actually have to deal with it. And so instead of it being consciously acknowledged, it instead has a unconscious effect on your behavior. So here we got Smugalana. Running circles on my wall. Every step I take they sway, following then fade away. Here's a Powder. Ooh, Hold on, that's a nice little window or whatever. What is that? That has to be like from a window or something. That's being projected on.
Moving shadows.
So we have Leaflet, Asari, and we have Ratatia. Hold on. Runaltia. I always have trouble with her name. Like, I recognize her immediately. I always have trouble with her name though. That's a lot of slime. Holy crap.
Black and blue, always right behind the truth.
So we got Banana Juju here hanging from the tree. I might have to edit the scene out. But hanging from the tree and like bound to the branch upon which she's sitting. I meant your old publishing schedule. What publishing schedule? I do this shit when I want to. I don't have a schedule yet. Oh, we got Celestium here. In the dead of night, again, we have the shadow being cast from the overhead light here. But to be fair, night is simply the shadow of the of the earth.
On the wall, they stretch and bend long and
We got obviously Reverend Straub. I'm gonna do the I Spy with My Little Eye first, and then I'm gonna go back and listen to the lyrics themselves, and then probably do more analysis of the actual visual imagery.
thin like tired friends.
I have no idea who Nova is, to be perfectly honest. Like, I saw Nova at the bottom. Like, I have no idea who that is. Looks down to see on the cheat sheet. It's like, oh, that's Nova. No idea who this is, but it's very clearly, again, the shadow on the wall is reflecting what seems to be some kind of domestic dispute, which again leads into that psychoanalytic lens I was talking about earlier.
Tears and coats become tall ghosts, dancing slow across the post.
I do appreciate, again, that was Nines, but like I do appreciate how the words are actually on the screen, right? Because I've always complained about not having subtitles, because the AI will sometimes fuck up the subtitles, and sometimes it's a little difficult to disentangle what the AI is actually putting in the song. So I appreciate that we have some semblance of guardrail there.
Moving shadows.
We have, again, Play Astronomical, and here we have the visual image of, again, the the image on the clothes and the image, the jacket and the image behind him are aligned in such a way to give the illusion that it's one continuous image instead of the same image superimposed to give that illusion. Which is a cool effect anytime you see it, let's be fair. You missed 2 and 9 section? What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, there's 8s and, I don't know who that is. Hold on. Lithria, okay.
Across the posts, moving shadows. Who's climbing for run?
Okay, this is, I didn't know who that was. I would not have gotten that. Apparently that's, Nana, hold on, what was it? Nanigachi? How the fuck does he know about all these people? Right? Like, good lord, man.
Circles on my wall.
That's Ririgaki, obviously, right? And cast over the shadow of the Eiffel Tower.
Every step I take, they sway, following
And that's Pseudo Gray right there, right?
fade away, moving.
Ah, shit, there I am. Put me in a fucking Stetson with boots, fair enough, right?
Shadow,
Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, you got a cosmic oh, you had 2 layers of shadows in this one.
following then fade away, moving.
So you have the shadow, and you can see it right there, right at the tip of the cross. You can see that there's a shadow incoming from behind, so between the sun and between the cross, while I am walking right, my character is walking right next, adjacent to, slightly intersecting with the shadow of the cross on the ground, right? And then, again, the higher shadow descends and almost envelops the material entity there, while the shadow of the material entity, which I guess is a I don't know, it could be a stand-in for some higher conception, casts upon the ground. Oh no, it's nightfall. Okay, that actually is more interesting. And then that's obviously Penny Bloomfeld. There's Ando is annoyed. And there's Nianus. Nianus actually has a lot of good advice for anyone who's worried about possibly the rise of AI. Is that Amethyst? I'm out of my guy. Fuck! Okay. These gem names confuse me. Okay, so there's Bloop and Mr. Hyde, or Hyde Sinister. And then obviously Nasky Holy Goddess and Trucker Man. And that's Rivanami, yeah. Bit on the nose, obviously the shadow there, hold on. Obviously those are shadows of the blinds, right? Blinds being something you can use to control the lighting in your house or in a room by the use of shadows, right? Hello, Runya. Came to help. I could probably need it, right? A Malmagite. Yeah, I absolutely missed that one, right? Wrong gemstone. And then we have, obviously, there's a Skybrows, right? AKA the goat, fair enough, right? And here he's almost completely obstructed. You can see that there's a greater contrast between the shadow obstructing his physical body versus the clothes around him. His pants and his skin are obstructed in more or less the same way, but the shirt itself, not so much. And actually, again, I get a lot of Serial Experiments Lane fucking illusions. Anytime I see computers arranged in this way, right? I get like Serial Experiments Lane flashbacks. It's like, let's all love Lane, right? Shit's going down now. We're entering in the true era of the techno dystopia. So yeah, that was obviously fucking Zen and hold on. Lipu Lipu. And then this is hold on, I don't know who this is. Crater 7920. I have no fucking clue who this is. So Skybrows is God of Internet. I'm not entirely sure I would go that far, but I do like how the use of negative space here, right, is actually used to give form here. Because again, you could use negative space to actually elucidate shape in three-dimensionality, and that's exactly what's going on here. So here we have absence is actually used to help communicate the image.
Moving shadows, climbing far, running circles on my wall.
And there's the Jester, right? Jester Greer, yeah.
Every step I take, they sway, following them fade away.
Oh, I have no fucking clue who this is. This is Mr. Philip Chan. What? How would I have guessed this? There's no Harambe. I'm kidding. But okay, hold on. Who the fuck is the other one? Mr. Philip Chan 2 reading book, The Perfect Shape about Harambe. What the fuck is going on? Oh, okay, that's that. Okay, who the fuck is the other person then? Wait, what? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. It's not an exact area with the transition. I don't know. I still don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know who Fun with Phoenix is or Penguin CJP, to be perfectly honest. So these two are just absolutely not in my catalog of like people. I have no fucking clue who either of these two are. But you have the duality here that Play Astronomical likes to play with, where it's like, obviously in the Skybrow scene, it was an interplay of light and shadow, whereas here we have an interplay between the warmth and coolness, right? Even with the flames here being a warm color, and here ice being symbolized by a cooler color. Runia Sky won't accept the title, trust me. The Perfect Shape by Harambe. Truly, he called it himself on his own stream. Build 1,000 bridges. Nothing happens. Suck one gorilla dick, and you're a gorilla dick sucker. You know what? I'm sorry. I think that's the correct way to do this analysis, right? There are certain things that you do at one time, and then you're known for that for the rest of your life, right? It doesn't really matter what else you do. It's like, that is the noodle incident. That is the thing that you did that everyone is gonna know you about, right? You may have built the 1,000 bridges, but on the other hand, there was the incident with the gorilla. Fucking hell, mate. And again, you have here the shadows themselves, as I mentioned earlier with the example of in Egypt. Shadows here are being used to communicate not just the presence of a person, but it's filled with information that can identify specifically who it is the person being imaged. For example, I'm pretty sure the one on the center left-hand side is Cairo Chicago. I don't know who. Okay, I'm gonna guess the one on the center right-hand side might be Night Owl. I actually blinked and did not see who they were before we got back to this scene, so I'm legitimately flying blind here. I'm not sure who the ones in the outer sections are, so I'm about to find out. And yeah, this was. I did think that this was Feeble Mind. So let's see who this is. Muru Mao. Okay, you know what? I see it. Yeah, Cairo Chikage. Oh, that's DJ Nathaniel. And hold on, let me see what the fuck the rest of this says. Yeah, so that was Night Owl VT. Oh, actually, I was right. I was right with the exact placement of these two too. Okay, you know what? I absolutely got the L with that one. I was actually right the first time, and then I saw the thing, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe not. And I was like, no, I was actually right. And then there's a fucking Reaving Mango. I feel as if I should know who the woman in this is. Not ringing a bell off the top of my head though. Is that supposed to be Cine? No, that's Mystical. Yeah, who the fuck is Mystical Yazi? I've learned every time I do one of these, I find out who new fucking people are.
Always right behind the truth.
Okay, that's Cinevere. Okay, that's cartoonish. Like, literally. They have a thing on X. Oh, shit, I would never have known that, because I barely see anyone on... I barely see them on X, to be perfectly honest. So I know that's Pufferfish. I'm trying to remember without looking at the thing what her name is, the Hobbit girl, but I can't fucking remember. Lily Fernwild. Okay, because I see her occasionally on X, but I don't really interact with her. So like I've rarely ever actually had to use her name.
Are you just a trick of light?
And I just realized I missed Ohio Birdman. Fuck. Yeah, it literally the fucking cardinal with the glasses. Yes, that's very obviously Ohio Birdman. Okay, so then we have Obted Fatash in the, I'm going to guess, yellowish, orangish outfit. Names escaping me. Yeah, right. Oh, Runia's in the fucking chat right here. It's like, oh wait, yeah, it's Lily Fernwild, right? Okay, so it is orange. I don't know. I'm colorblind. That's my excuse. Again, we have another interplay of duality here, where we have the dead inside the grave, looking up at the living, burying the dead. We have the shadow, the cast over the region by the clouds, and the light peeking through the clouds. Kinnock says, oh, by the way, hello, Kinnock. Am 08 Ohio native, so I'll always get that one. That's fair. Hello, Mind of Ra. I'm struggling here, right? Apsu Black, who I don't think I've talked to very much before. Rhino Rocks. Okay, I don't really see his character very often, because, like, when I'm talking to people on Discord, I'm not exactly looking at the... I'm not exactly looking at the images. And then we have a Hawk's Inferno. I don't think I've actually seen anything from Hawk's Inferno, so I'm gonna have to look his stuff up.
Or the parts I hide at night, yeah.
And then obviously that's fucking Shiver and Brewer the Boomer. Shiver is adorable as like a tiny little bean, to be perfectly honest.
If I face the dark alone, will you leave?
Okay, so then obviously we got Griffin Knight right there. We have the X count, and I'm gonna the one with the white hair and the elf features. I'm gonna get. Okay, you know what? I wouldn't have gotten that. Yeah, you know what, Runya? I would not have gotten that. I don't think I've ever heard of Arashi Namikaze. How the fuck do y'all people know half these people? Good lord, man.
Me or come home.
And then obviously that's Celestia. Not Celestium. That's actually, fucking hell, mate. That's Maria Grace. There it is, Maria Grace VT, and that's her bear husband. I was trying to remember it because like I was in her debut stream when she was debuting. Right, I'm pretty sure I have a clip of her making a joke about Jewish conspiracies on my channel. Right. That one took me a minute. Hold on, I'm not looking at the chat. I gotta figure this one out on my own. My brain must pull this information from the ether. Right. I found him and introduced to Skybrows. Ooh, nice. He is a reactor of political and cultural stuff. He is fresh to Skybro. Okay, that's fair. So he basically does what I do, right? Okay, it looks like Maria Grace is quite enjoying the site. And here we again the interplay between light and dark, where the negative space is being used again to create a sense of form. And here it is. We have the light comes from the cross, right? So okay. So we have Keen. Hold on. We have Keen. We have Occultus. Nochitia. We have the Holy Ball. I don't know who the fucking Mohawk girl is, to be perfectly honest, at the moment. Is that supposed to be Mad Hatter? I don't know if that's supposed to be Mad Hatter. Okay. Oh, wait, she appears twice. Hold on. This Mohawk girl appears to Oh, yeah, she does appear on there twice. When she moves out of frame here, I think she appears on the couch. And the Cosmic Dreamers is another video I've done a breakdown of. Oh, okay, no, she just appears twice in here, too. Oh, Holy Ball does, too. Interesting. I have no idea who the lemur guy is supposed to be off the top. Is he supposed to be Mad Hatter? I'm pretty sure he's... Okay, so it is Mad Hatter. Fuck. Who the fuck is the lady? Hold on. Let me go back. I don't know who Miss Oni is over there either for some reason. Okay. Nightwave Fantasy. Which one of these is Nightwave Fantasy? Hold on. I gotta look up Nightwave Fantasy. Because I've talked to Nightwave Fantasy, but I don't think I've ever actually seen Nightwave Fantasy's character, to be perfectly honest. Nightwave Fantasy. That is taking a long time to load. What the fuck? Okay. Hold on. Something went wrong. Hell with it, eh? Okay, hold on. Who is the other one? General Gravy. Oh, I've rated Jen before. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay. See if that actually does anything. Okay, now that... Okay, I don't know. The X Twitter algorithm is just so fucking, like, wonky at times. Okay, yeah, that's definitely Nightwave Fantasy. I've never seen their actual character, though. That's why I was like, I have no fucking clue. General Gravy. Yeah, it's General Gravy, apparently. Let's see. And then, obviously, you have Dot Pocket and Lady Wasabi. And the allusion to the loss that Lady Wasabi experienced. So the sealing, right? The seals.
Every fear I chase, you stay.
And then obviously it's you got fucking Psychro and fucking Lusty Lynx. I'm sorry, you got Psychro turned back, and I can't remember. I can't help but remember the fucking cake posting arc, because fucking someone, name's not gonna be named, right? But someone I remember posted fucking cake enhancements of everyone, and yeah, I remember the one with Psycho. Like, that's just cartoonish. Holy fuck.
Stretching out this slip.
And again, you have the interplay of dualities here. You have male, female, hot and cold.
Slip away, moving.
And then you have Yuna, Little Man, Silas, and AI Trump. But I'm trying to remember what his shit. What is Joshi? That's what it was. Joshi. Let me check to see if that was correct. Joshua Frostman. Yep. Silas, Yuna, and Little Man. Okay. It's taking me a bit, right? There's a lot of names to pull out of the back of my brain.
Shadow.
Then you have Mavluck, fucking Moomy. Other two are escaping my brain at the moment. That is very adorable, right? One big happy family. Sir Squinty Lion. I think I've talked to this person, never seen their character. And I've never seen Ben's human character, to be perfectly honest. Never fucking seen it. I've seen Ben as a clanker, I've never seen Ben's human character.
Black and blue.
And then you got the military bros with Keeney, Lore, and fucking Melody, and it's on the fucking suits too. God damn it. Of course, the one I didn't get off the top of my head was the fucking one that is unreadable right here. I have no fucking clue what the top Norwegian one says. Ani C Anen. Okay. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I don't speak Swede. I mean Norwegian. My bad, Norwegian. Oh, that's gonna piss him off.
Closer than the truth I knew.
And obviously, you're gonna have Ember Paradox with Lord Intellectual, right? Oh my god. There you have Gaming Syndicate here. I don't know who the fuck Deadpan React is. I've never heard of Deadpan React. Obviously, we got the interplay between the human and the divine, technology and, mortal. Again, the light causing an effect of shadow, which creates contrast that helps to elucidate the form. And then, yeah. So this is probably an allusion to what is it? Skyop, if I remember correctly, the name of the video. But yeah, Skybrows, obviously. Yeah, because these two apparently collaborated to create this, which I didn't know about before going into here, right? I only saw it when I clicked on the video and it took me to a shared channel. I was like, oh shit, okay, fair enough, right? I was not aware of your game, right? They are new edition? Okay, fair enough. And again, there's a duality here. Again, you have monochromatic in the sense of with Skybrows, and then you have the like actual use of color by Play Astronomical. I'm wondering if they use Sea Dance for that, right? Training round 1 over. Oh, we're gonna have more of these, eh? I mean, if we're gonna have more of these, I'm definitely up to check them out. But yeah, so that's gonna be the attempt at name skill. Seeing if I can name everyone, right? So now let's get into the more serious attempt to actually treat this as a piece of art, not just cameo slop, right? Because while it is cameo slop, we can also treat it as legitimate art and see what it is going on mechanically in the visuals and the song, right? So I've already talked about this part, and you can see even with the some of these characters, again, it almost looks like they are part of the projection, especially the one on the bottom left-hand corner. That one definitely looks like it's part of a projection instead of someone standing on the projection. And then, again, they disappear into the light.
Climb and fall, run in circles on my wall.
So obviously, moving shadows, climb and fall, run circles around my wall is a description of how shadows actually move, right? Again, I don't really think I have to describe this, right? There's an uncanny and kind of alien way that shadows move when you think about them.
Every step
And again, when we're talking about dualities, again, there's that duality here of the Smugglana being, you know, hot and cold at the same time in different respects on different sides of the mirror.
and fall, run in circles on my wall.
And the mirror almost acts as a bit of a window, right? Oh, interesting. There seems to be sinks on the other side of that window.
Every step I take, they sway.
And again, the growth of the ice crystals, and they break apart, and the ice crystals almost look like shattered glass.
Following then fade away.
So every step I take, they sway. Again, their motion is completely dependent on something else, like, for example, the motion of branches in the wind. Follow in, then fade away. Because, yeah, I mean, that is kind of the nature of a shadow, right? They disappear as soon as they have a light shown on them. They're only capable of being seen when they are obstructing something.
Every step I take, they sway.
And you can see that right here, actually. That's actually an interesting little sub-narrative, like, decision here. At the very beginning, we see that this is the broken glass, probably the broken glass from Smugglana, right, in this powder. And as we turn, we see that there is a source of light in front of powder. And when we turn, ooh, there's a shadow that appears there.
They sway.
And you can see that between powder and the source of light, there is something obstructing the light, and we can learn about that thing in between powder and you know, the light based on observing its shadow.
Following then fade away.
It kind of looks like some kind of like stained glass structure, except without the color in between, right? So, and yeah, it even frames the face in a really odd way. Interesting. I'm curious as to see if there's I'm curious to see how much control he had over choosing the shape of this particular shadow.
Moving shadows.
And again, here we have the interplay between two figures within mostly shadow, and then Leaflet herself as a source of light. So, and you have the hot and warm colors, and that's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what in God's name is going on here? I don't know.
It's black and blue, always right behind the truth.
So black and blue always hiding behind the truth. Let's go back just a little
Black
bit.
and blue, always right behind.
Oh, right behind the truth. Interesting. So black and blue are, again, you compare any color with black, and you can make it be a monochromatic scale, right? You can have blue monochromacy, you can have red monochromacy, you can have yellow monochromacy. Again, you could actually see, I missed this part in the first time I was looking at this, but Banana Juju is reaching out to someone, and you can see that person not wholly, but because of the shadow that's being cast on the ground. It's opposite to what you would expect because of the lighting behind her, but to be fair, this is a trick that's used in cinematography with impossible lighting, right? As much as people want to complain and bitch and moan when people use AI and the lighting is impossible, you see impossible lighting being used all the time in cinema, right? You see it all the time used in human-done works for the purpose of illumination. But, yeah, so And to be fair, that does look kind of like her husband, to be perfectly honest, right? Big, you know, small monkey, big monkey, right? So I'm gonna guess that that's that's what's going on here, right? Is I don't want to put any kind of assumptions on here, but I'm gonna guess that the person she's reaching out to is you know, the big monkey, Mr. Juju, not Mrs. Juju, right? Not entirely sure how she got tangled up, but you know, doesn't look too stressed about it, so probably has something to do with that.
In the truth.
And hold on, that iris out is actually kind of interesting.
Always right behind the truth.
Right here, because you can see the iris out. I don't know if he did this on purpose, but is a bit of a again, it has 4 points, almost like a compass, pointing, you know, north, south, east, and west. Yeah, I don't know how much control he had over this part. Comes right from Juju's face, right where the mouth should be, and you know, encompasses irises out the entire screen. So not entirely sure how to, you know, understand that, but symbolically speaking, squares, circles, and triangles have been paired with each other to stand in for very different things due to the natures of their shapes. You have fucking Celestium here, dressed as a bit of like a detective, right? Standing in the dark alleyway, you know, with the light shining upon them. Which is interesting, again, because, you know, she's not a religious person, so again, and her religion is Eastern Orthodoxy, right? So her belief is that any light that is in the world is ultimately a reflection of a higher light than hello, Nightway. I think it's a cap cut effect. Oh, interesting. I don't know if there are other cap cut effects, so I'd have to ask as to why he chose that particular cap cut in general. But yeah, so this is kind of interesting again, because it's the contrast between the shadow and the light behind her that actually helps to make her pop in the image, right? So that's obviously the reason that's chosen here, is because the reason she pops out so much more than the rest of the image, when you look at this picture, the first thing you don't see is not the lamp itself, but actually her, right? Is because it's through the use of contrast of dark and light that she becomes the thing that pops out in the center of the image. Because in other images, and this is actually an interesting thing to do if you want to try like to see the flow of your art, is to just close your eyes and then open your eyes and see what the first thing to grab the attention of your eyes actually is, right? That'll be the focal point of the piece. But yeah, here, yeah, it has her set up as a detective, it seems.
On the wall they stretch and bend, long and thin like tired friends. Chairs and coats become tall ghosts, dancing slow across the posts.
Okay, so we're gonna have a bit before there's a bit here to recap lyrically, so let's make sure we caught everything lyrically. So it's like the black and blue.
Always right behind the truth.
Okay, black and blue. Okay, commonly used in reference to injuries caused by someone in a beating, right? Which I'm bringing up because, again, we see a domestic dispute later in the video. And again, always hiding behind the truth. Again, it's like hidden details that you don't really communicate.
On the wall they stretch and bend, long and thin like tired friends. Chairs and coats become tall ghosts, dancing slow across the posts.
Okay, so that is basically what I thought was happening in this. Okay, so let's go to the very beginning with Rev says Desu. Okay. So we see here, again, the shadow is, in a sense, a reflection of what is in reality, right? So here we have, obviously, Rev and Straub. You know, I love my wife. This is a healthy relationship, right? As opposed to what we'll see later, which is an unhealthy relationship. I'm not sure why the shadow has a umbrella. That part is just escaping me, right? I guess it's because the image that is projected, the image casted, right, is one without rainy days, whereas in reality, you have to walk in the rainy days together, right? I don't know. That would be a guess, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'd have to ask. So on the wall, they stretch long and thin. Again, it's a very emaciated appearance, right? If you were to meet someone who was long and thin, right, tall and thin, it's not exactly the healthiest look for someone, right? It's emaciated, starved. And again, the stretch and bend part is like the unnatural movement, the way it twists and contorts around angles is objectively unlike anything in human experience except for the experience of shadows. And then that gets washed away, and here we get to see the domestic disputes, like tired friends.
Tired friends, chairs and coats become tall ghosts.
I guess the chairs and coats become tall ghosts. Yeah, again, we have the domestic dispute. This entire thing is grayscaled here, right? Or at least I think. It's very it's very what would you say, muted colors in this particular scene. The live color comes from, ironically enough, the text on the screen and the fire in, who is this, Nova's hands. Nova is an interesting name too, because Nova literally means no go. It's actually the reason why the Nova vehicles failed to sell in places like Mexico, because it's like, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy the no go car? Yeah, it didn't fucking work. They named it after the death of a star, and it literally means no go in Spanish, right? Nightway says, I think the umbrella is people thinking that everything is perfect in other people's lives, and the coats is the chairs, the coats and chairs are people seeing bad even when there isn't in their own lives. That's the time, I think that you're right about the umbrella in Rev and Straub. You might also be right about the chairs and coats thing, because again, we see a domestic dispute on the wall, so that's what is being again, this is contained within the shadow, but again, Nova herself doesn't really seem all that bothered. She seems, if anything, mildly annoyed by it. And then again, ultimately, a light casts it away. Yeah. So again, the light adds greater contrast, makes the shadow pop out more, and then eventually that light dissipates everything else in the screen. So for a scene transition, right? So light here is actually used to obfuscate, not just to illuminate. Let's see. Chairs and coats become tall ghosts, dancing slow across the posts. So again, this is almost certainly a discussion about, like, this part here is almost certainly influenced by the online discussions, and you can see the various shadows in the background, right? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have these tall ghosts just standing around, just looking at these two, just living their lives, right? They look a little bored, but they're not exactly unhappy, right? You have the TV, screen providing the main source of light. The other source of light is very dim, except for the eyes, which I guess are themselves illuminating. But yeah, no, it's just 8s and 9s are just spending time with each other, watching another VTuber. That VTuber is casting light into a dark space, which is presumably what a lot of VTubers want to do, right? They want to provide entertainment, and the reason that they want to provide entertainment is to brighten someone's day, right? So, but let's look at the ghosts in the actual sequence.
All ghosts dancing slow across the post.
And again, the ghosts move about. These ghosts are very voyeuristic. They don't really interact with anything. They're literally just there to watch, right? So it's not like they're actually part of what's going on here. And then those ghosts deform and they, again, obscure the screen, what's actually happening. So yeah, I do think that maybe the section about the moving across, about the posts, is talking about literal internet posts, right? People creeping and, to be fair, stalking people based on posts and getting a little bit too involved with people that aren't really relevant to their lives, right? Here we have again the interplay of duality, something from very high up meeting something that is terrestrial, right? Something celestial meets something earthly, and here it happens through the interplay of the shadow of the plane with a person on the ground. Let's see, and this was Nanigachi. There has to be a reason that each one of these particular VTubers was picked for these particular scenes too, right? I don't think these are arbitrary. But also, there's an interplay, funny enough, I didn't even think about this, between technology and nature. Obviously, here we have what seems to be almost like a countryside, to be perfectly honest, right? This is not a developed area. This looks to be someplace in a more, in a less settled area, right? So we have a achievement of the reason of man's mind. Both the VTuber right there, you know, a digital creation where man gets to take on a new identity to fulfill a new role, a particular kayfabe, and you know, the plane, you know, whereby man gets to touch the clouds, you know, through the reason of his own mind, both superimposed atop a natural setting, you know, unrefined, unrealized potential that needs to be brought into, you know, the use of human reason. And again, the climb and fall, again, the plane is a good image there too, because planes climb, right? They take off, they go into heights previously unimagined by mortal man, except for that one sci-fi novel, A True Story, right? And then they come back down and touch the earth, right? Running circles on my walls, again, just talking about how shadows move. And we have Ririgaki again right here. We see an example of the shadow crawling across the ground and almost going to eclipse her as the sun falls. And obviously it's the Eiffel Tower because she's French. We could forgive Riri for this particular affectation of being French because she is funny. And again, the shadow the shadow itself traces time. And again, we move from day to night because night is simply just the shadow of the earth. So. Okay, so every step I take, they sway, following and fade away. We already covered this particular line. So let's look at specifically the segment with pseudo gray. Actually, hold on. I just noticed I don't know what this is. Is this a real space? Because I don't know what this is about, this geometric pattern on the floor, right? It's repeating. This has to mean something. I just don't know what it is. If it's a piece of like modern art in France, I wouldn't know. I don't know much about the layout of Paris, because Paris as a city has never particularly interested me. Now here we have pseudo gray, like fucking Batman. Oh shit, that was the wrong button. Like fucking Batman just atop of a fucking like skyscraper top, right? You know, looking over the city, or at us at the top of the city. He's got his firearm in hand, and we have lightning here providing both light and shadow, because we could see the light outline him, again providing more contrast against him. Your eye doesn't go to the lightning, it doesn't go to the word sway. My eye at least goes straight to pseudo because of the way that the light contrasts him against the background, right? In a sense, the light actually dilutes the background with the city in the background, but it doesn't obscure the clarity of what's in the background, and it actually provides more clarity as to the subject of the piece. The use of hold on, and here we have again, in order to change scene, the camera recedes into the eye, which is the window of the soul. And here we have again a contrast between the gray and blue, right? That which is basically without color, you know, receding into the color in the without color, right? Yeah, because Pseudo's character is very monochromatic here. There is not really any color in here that I can see. Everything is an interplay of gray and black, right? Which is fine. Monochromatic scales are fine. It's just the only color in this piece is in the eye, right? The window to the soul, the window to the very life of a man is in his expression. We see fire here, which is again a source of heat, contrasting against the cool colors that are comprising Pseudo. Does any of this make sense? We got my cameo here, right? I got me in the middle of the country. Again, they put me in a Stetson. And I just noticed this. They actually got my third eye correct. Most people actually have a really hard time getting that third eye down, to be perfectly honest. The AI really wants to turn that third eye into a gem, which I don't really have a problem with, but it there's been so many times when someone's gemmed my character and it's like, oh yeah, put the third eye on there. It's like, that's a gem, but I will allow it, right? I will allow it. They even got the actual characters correct, except for there's only one mistake in the character, which is there is a vowel dot should be right to the right hand side of the square, right? Which would give the vowel of O, because it should read motak, because motak is a Cantonese word written in a script I invented, right? The triangle is a nasal, and then the square there is actually a bilabial, so it's two lips, so it's a sound, the M. The squiggle, which is kind of like the one right next to the cross sign on my dress, but would be just to the right of the square, would indicate an O sound, so mo. That cross sign actually is a muting diacritic. That's why you see it twice. In that first example, it's standing in the consonant position, so it indicates that what's being represented is a pure vowel. And the placement at the right upper hand side indicates it is a back high vowel, an oo, mo. And then again, you have. I'm just gonna explain how these characters work every time I see them, right? Because why the fuck not? I get to show the thought that goes into there, right? The next character underneath that first cross is actually a visual representation of the tongue reaching to touch that ridge right behind your teeth. It's called the alveolar ridge, right? So, and you can think about like the floor with the up tick at the bottom as being like a representation of the bottom of the mouth and the teeth. In this case, again, if you do the sound yourself, you put the tongue at that ridge right behind your teeth, that little area between that little bump between your teeth and the hard part of the roof of your mouth, makes a t or a d sound, right? That's how we make T and D, as in to be fair, I did post the fan service episode yesterday, right? So like in the word titty, right? The t and d in that word are made in the same way. The only difference is that your vocal box, your vocal cords are activated in the d sound, but not the t sound. So we don't have any diacritic there for that, so it's just a t sound. That line right beneath it is actually the tongue laying flat on your laying flat. So just think about like your doctor. Say ah, right? So that's ta. So it's mo ta, and that final bit right there, the thing that kind of looks like a Japanese e or e, is actually a visual representation of the back of your tongue to touching the soft part of the roof of your mouth. That's called the velum. We use that to do the k, g, and the sound. That last sound you don't really use unless you're using an ing word, like in buying, right? But it's between the and between the n and g sound. But anyway, so yeah, so that's that right there. So it's the, and then that final muting symbol placed at the neutral vowel, which would be again say ah. So muting the final syllable in the final vowel in what would be a syllable. So that's how that system works, right? Again, I enjoy explaining how this works. I actually have a full chart for a full system of these, but this was really fun to develop. And again, we see like the cosmic shadow coming to meet the terrestrial shadow, right? So yeah, this is a actually quite inventive scene, to be perfectly honest. I actually did not think that that was going to be the case when I first saw it. But yeah, so see, the shadow here is both, because the cross here again reaches up to the source of light, reaches up to the heavens, right? And the cross is also associated with darkness falling upon the earth, right? Most people don't seem to remember that in the Bible, when Jesus is crucified, that the earth was covered in darkness, right? And actually, this is corroborated by a secular opponent of Christianity at around the same time, right? Who does at least admit that, yes, there was an eclipse that happened over the Roman Empire when this happened, which is again an admission from someone who has every reason to deny that it happened in the first place, that actually it did happen. Yeah, so it is a beautiful sequence, to be perfectly honest. And again, you see the duality between the heavenly and the terrestrial, and you see the duality there with the shadows on the earth and on from the sky. So I actually really like this sequence with Penny. Like a penny for your thoughts, right? So I don't know if that's what's going on here, right? But that's very obviously Penny Bloomfield, black and blue, always hiding behind the truth. And here we see Penny taking one of the pennies that she gets from her money bush. Hello, Phantom Crustacean. One, nice picture. Two, I just finished watching a park analysis on the historical problem of Disney's American themed areas. So I have come here to rant to someone who understands my plight. That's entirely fair. But right now we're doing music reviews, right? So here we have Penny casting a coin down the stairs, but it kind of looks like the way that you would do so in a like in a well, right? It's like cast a well, you know, for wishes. But there's a dual image here. It's like, first of all, again, we see the interplay between darkness and light. The inside of the room is very dark. The only illumination comes from the outside, right? And down the stairs, down the piping, right? Who is receiving the penny for their thoughts? It's Ando is annoyed, the reactor, right? Juan Tio, hi, hello there. Willing to wait. That's entirely fair, right? So, and Ando is, you know, Ando is annoyed, is standing at the bottom of the tower, right? Still, he's standing in the light, though, and the light is, again, obscure. The shadow obscures literally everything else in the frame. You can't see anything else in the frame, because the only thing really of note in this particular frame from the perspective of the piece is Ando himself catching the coin, right? So the only thing we need to see is that. And you can even see, again, the shadows themselves actually indicate those are railings that you can see from the stairs.
Always right behind the truth.
And you have, again, here, we have Nianis, and she is on what appears to be a Ferris wheel. And again, she's moving between darkness and light based off of the, you know, where she is on the Ferris wheel. So life is circular, right? You move between periods of illumination and periods of darkness, periods of good, periods of bad, periods of, you know, liveliness, periods of dryness, right? And it's kind of fitting, because if I remember correct, god damn it, nothing ever happens. Okay, that's funny. It's PLC application. Fucking application for the Southern Poverty Law Center. Okay, that's funny. Holy shit. But yeah, that is actually kind of interesting too, because with Nianis in particular, if I remember correctly, I think she's Catholic, right? So the whole concept of the Dark Night of the Soul is also a really important concept in Catholicism as well, right? The idea that just because you move from light into darkness does not necessarily mean you know, from liveliness to dryness, does not necessarily mean that you have done anything wrong. This is just how life moves. That's pretty on the news. The nose. It's literally exactly what's in the scene, right? So again, you have the interplay between light and darkness here. I don't really have much to say about this other than nothing ever happens. Sadly, is almost certainly true, right? So that's ever annoying. Let's see. Kitchen is used. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I can glean from that particular thing. I didn't even see the SPLC application before. Yeah, I don't think most people did, to be perfectly honest. I mean, symbolically speaking, the hallway and kitchen are two very different, you know, functionally speaking, they have two very different roles, right? Like, the hallway is a transitionary space. It's not a space you're meant to occupy. It is a space to allow you to move from phase to phase, right? So from the living room to the kitchen to the restroom to the fucking bedroom. So the only purpose of a hallway is to facilitate you getting from point A to point B, right? The other rooms are places you are meant to dwell in for a particular period. Hello, cynical YYZ. The kitchen light is obviously, the kitchen is where you actually make the food stuff, where you harvest foodstuffs, right? You turn something from an inedible substance to an edible substance. That way you can sustain the life that you live and potentially the life of anyone else that you live with, right? Or to, again, serve someone else if you're going to someone else's house and you volunteer to cook them something, right? But ultimately speaking, the purpose of the kitchen is to sustain the life of man through sustenance, right? Incoming 7-hour stream. No, it's not going to be that long. We're not doing yesterday again. Holy shit. Right? So, again, kitchen light and hallway door. Yeah, again, light and life are oftentimes connected to each other for obvious reasons. So, yeah, this does make symbolic sense to me. Turn the rug into a shore. Hold on. I like to overthink things, okay? So, I mean, obviously he just stepped off the rug into the water, which, why is there a rug right next to the pool? Come on, man, that's gonna mold. Yeah, right here, he stepped off. He's dove into the water. The water is deeper than it seems like he anticipated. And then right here we have, as he's sinking in, Bloop comes in from the deep, grabs him, and then, stops him from sinking like a stone, even though he probably should be able to swim. I think he's a diver. But, yeah, so you have the duality here, as well as, like, very obviously, Hyde is a man. He is but a mortal man, a diver, right? And then Bloop is a creature of the sea. So here, again, we have the interplay between the wet and the dry, the terrestrial, the aquatic. As earlier, we had the interplay between the terrestrial and the celestial, right? Two different realms coming to meet each other at the shore being where the two realms meet each other. Let's see. What type of music videos do you analyze? Can you request songs? Right now I'm basically doing overdue things that I promised to do a while ago that I just haven't gotten the opportunity to. I mostly do AIMV stuff. So AI music. And to be fair, I guarantee you that interplay is probably part of what was worked into with the, because, again, Hyde and Bloop are married, so I'm pretty sure there was some subconscious idea of that right here, right? Again, the complementary interplay here between the driver, trucker man, and the passenger. Fucking the driver takes person from point A to point B. The passenger's function is to be taken from point A to point B, right? So, there's that. Let's see. My own hands look far from mine. Reaching out again to the people on the other side of the screen through the window. Hold on. What the? Oh, wrong button. Let me see if I can find anything in here. don't know what that is. I think that that's just probably the group mascot in that Nasky's holding. Okay, let's see. Back here. Okay. Yeah, as they move, the sun comes into view as we move move backwards. Yeah.
When they blur across the blinds.
And again, that's Rivanami, and I already explained earlier when we were doing the thing, I noticed that those were blinds, right? Which, the whole function of a blind is to control the interplay between shadow and light, right? You close the blinds to block out the light, to dim a room, and, again, to exist within a shadow, whereas you open the blinds specifically to let in the light and to dissipate the shadow, right? So, yeah. I don't really know what I could expand upon here that wouldn't be an insult to the intelligence of the listener. And those are some vibrant eyes. Holy crap! You can see the sun reflect in them. And again, you can see. You don't see Skybrows himself directly. You can only really see him through the interplay of contrasts here, right? His shirt outlines, his form, and so do his pants. But as far as like his arms and his face, and I guess like his eyes, right? The only thing you can see is like the edges that are touched by the light, and then the rest of it, which is covered in an impossible shadow. But it's that very interplay that allows you to infer where precisely he is and what he's thinking in this particular scene. And he reaches to his chest, right? Probably. The Skybrow seems like a very introspective person, let's be fair. So he's probably thinking about something. He's probably thinking about something. That's probably why he reached towards his chest, right? Then he turns around to the computers. All the computers are off, but I guess it's time to work. We have, again, Zen and Lifu. It looks like they are in some kind of medium, like they're floating in some kind of, fluid of some kind, whether it be an atmosphere or like the waters. But you can see above them is the sun. Above them is the source of light illuminating them so that they can reach out to each other. And below them is the darkness, and again, you can see the contrast between the dark and the light is what actually makes them pop in the scene, as opposed to just the light itself. Can't really comment on the rest of this, because I don't know what the hell is going on here, to be perfectly honest. I don't know who this Canada man is, to be perfectly honest, but he's dressed in camo, so he can't be that bad. It looks like he has an eagle blanket. Oh my god, anyone remember like those old school blankets? Like they were heavier blankets, or thicker, not in the sense of like filled with stuff, but like they were just denser blankets, and they had animal prints on them. Those were always nice. There is a sort of lantern on the floor beneath the desk for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but I mean, that stood out, but oh shit, that was the wrong button. He turns around to turn on his computer, which I don't know why he's got a remote for his computer, and we see the lights turn off when he turns on the computer, and the jester becomes the source of illumination, the light in the room, right?
Every step I take, they sway, following them fade away.
Again, I can't comment on these guys because I don't know who the fuck these people are.
Every step I take,
Like I know who Jester Greer is. She's fucking funny, to be perfectly honest. A cosmic Funko Pop win? Never. I hate Funko Pops.
they sway,
Yeah, I don't know who either of these two are, so I can't comment on jack shit about this other than the interplay again of raw potential, fire, and technology on one or the other side. Cool colors versus hot colors, heat versus again cold. Other than that, I can't really say anything about this.
following them fade away, moving shadows.
You got fucking Philip Chan in the fucking forest. Yeah, we got Philip Chan and fucking Harambe. You see Harambe in shadow before you actually see it. But I'm pretty sure there's people who immediately, because of that shadow, saw that. They're like, holy shit, that's Harambe. Either that, or someone's taking the piss out of Kura. But it's almost certainly Harambe, given again given the oriental design of the armor and footwear. So it's almost certainly Philip Chan. Just even from this, you can tell that. You know, stepping in the mud, which, to be fair, he definitely stepped in when he made that comment that he's never gonna live down. Jester maxing waifus, right? Look, man, all I'm telling you is there is a lot of people who watched the Amazing Digital Circus and immediately got the hots for Pomni. It seems jester maxing is a thing. And again, I already mentioned here that, like, the use of shadows to at once obscure and identify at the same time. It was decent enough to where I could pick out, again, Night Owl and fucking Chiral Chikage. So it's like, again, anyone in this particular who's more paying attention to this group probably could figure out Murumau and fucking DJ Nathaniel from it as well. You have, again, the interplay of dark and light here. In the dark, you have what seems to be very much the dusk, and boom, you have people firing off fireworks in the background. Feeble himself, his face stands out because he's wearing a mask that conceals himself, like in the darkness, except the mask lights up, right? So it's a source of illumination. Let's see, I fancy Pamne. That's fair. A lot of people do, apparently, right? Philip says, Philip is not going to outlive this running gag. Right? Like, decent enough. And actually, you know, I didn't even notice the, again, we have another source of light and darkness. It's not as pronounced. It's actually very subtle. I missed it the first time. But on the bottom right-hand corner, you see there are, apparently, that this is a, what would you call it? It's a barbecue, right? He's barbecuing hot dogs. And I just noticed this, but those are not actually Chiral Chikage, Murumau, Night Owl, and DJ Nathaniel. It almost looks like these are standees, right? The kind of things that you would buy from like a VTuber merch project. That's it. I didn't even notice that. That's actually kind of interesting, right? This is his shelf collection of his friends, right? That's entirely fair, though. To be fair, if anyone in the community or the extended community started making these standees, I would try to buy them if I could.
Black and blue, always right behind the truth.
Again, you have the duality, male and female, working in tandem in cooperation here. Again, you have the complementary colors at the bottom of the orange and the blue. So these colors don't clash. They actually complement each other. They make the piece stand out more. The light coming from Reaping Mango's hand, again, illuminates the subject of the piece, which is the two people in the center, and makes the rest of the image itself not stand out as much. So the rest of the image serves to, again, provide the necessary contrast to make them pop.
Blue, always right behind the truth.
And then you have, again, Cinevere here. You can see the duality again. Hold on, before you go back.
Blue, always right behind
All of these bright red flowers, right? And the flowers are illuminating, and it's in the compared to the dark of the sky, the starless sky. And you can see there's two moons in the background. I don't know why there's two moons in the background, but there's probably a reason for that, to be perfectly honest. Which friend goes in the jar? None of them go into the jar. I am offended by the question. None of them go into the jar. And like an Australian or Californian summer, the flowers catch fire. And in fact, again, remember when I said shadows are like were symbolically used as the representation of a person? Again, here we have mirrors standing everywhere here, right? Symbolically, this would be the shut in a Egyptian sense of the person, right? It would be the shadow, even though it's a shadow composed of light, right?
just a trick of light, or the parts I hide at night.
I already mentioned the dualities at play here.
If I
And again, here we have the small contrasting against the large. So we have the complementary of like protector and protected going across this dock, which doesn't seem to be very lively, to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna have to ask why her irises, not irises, her the whites of her eyes, or sclera, are black. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but the sclera are apparently black. And that is definitely a design choice. I don't know if that's like part of Shiver's actual lore, though. Double mooned! Ah, man, you mean like yesterday? Yesterday with the fucking Doki Bird Sotaway thing, right? Damn, we got double mooned. I'm just saying, right? So, oh yeah, and right here, if I face the dark alone, and yeah, we have, again, the protector and the protected. The moon itself, oftentimes a symbol of the night, here is actually the source of natural illumination. And then we have a source of illumination made by, again, the reason of man's mind in the hand of Brewer the Boomer. And we can see some of the elements in the background, especially towards the right hand of the image. You can see again the contrast between shadow and illumination, or reflection, if you will, being something that can inform us on what exactly it is in the image. Well, there goes ProChat for some reason. ProChat has been shitting out on me pretty bad.
Face the dark alone. Will you leave me or come home?
So, if I face the dark alone, will you leave me or come home? So, like, will you leave me alone or will you come home? So this is obviously the choice that is being posed here, right? And this can also be a stand-in for relationships, right? So what is the relationship that a person has with the other people? Are they actually like a friend, or are they more like a shadow that leaves during certain circumstances and only appears during other circumstances, that stretches and bends to meet the, to meet the surrounding, but never actually in any real sense touches the person, even if they're around them, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's what's going on here, but maybe. I'm just spitballing here. So, and again, you see there's a complementarity between the, again, I don't know what the guy's name is, hold on, Namikaze and Griffin Knight. And then right in the center is the X count. And the X count's color, red here, does not seem to clash from what I understand. If that is red, I don't fucking know. I'm guessing it's red. Doesn't seem to clash with the purple or the white. So.
Or come home. Moving shadow.
That's just so cute. Like, you can't, like, I don't care. That is just really cute. Just like, damn. Damn, boy, he's thick. And again, it is the use of negative space here that provides form and focus to this particular image. When the world is inhospitable, you can retreat inwards to find peace and stability, right? Whether it be inside the home during a rainy day, or inside the ship as the storm, crashes through. Watching AIMVs, right? And again, surrounded by people that you actually enjoy spending time with. Let's see, hold on. Runya says, Namikaze had a funny reaction to Cosmic Dreamers on YouTube. Oh god, I'm gonna have to look this up later. And his main element is wind. Well, I mean, his name is Namikaze, right? Literally, wave of wind, right? Or wind wave. Well, he is buff, that's fair. Again, here we have the interplay, again, the complementary interplay of one being allowed to again, experience emotion, or not emotion, one being allowed to be overwhelmed, and the other one being the foundational rock that, keeps the overwhelmed, stable, right? Again, sandwiched between the warmth, which is on the side of Dot Pocket. He's literally fucking covered in fire, right? Literally right next to the fire. and you have the Lady Wasabi here, which is being tended to by seals and Dot Pocket, and behind her back is the stars and the sea and the moon, which is again interesting because the sea is oftentimes analogized as so it's used symbolically as the the raw potentiality, that which has the capacity to take form but has not yet been formed, right? The moon is the light in the darkness. It's really only shines when there is darkness, right? Yeah, and considering Lady Wasabi has a focus on the heavenly, right? These do make sense.
Every fear I chase, you stay. Stretching out, then slip away.
Yeah, fucking. Hold on.
Every fear I chase, you stay. Stretching out, then slip away.
So every fear I chase, you stay. Hold on. Maybe I might have gotten a little lost in the visuals. Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm keeping up with the lyrics. The safe space of the cosmic basement, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go back and just make sure I catch all the lyrics.
On my wall. Every fear I chase, you stay. Stretching out, then slip away.
So every fear I chase, you stay. Stretching out and slip away. I mean, yeah, your shadow's not going to leave you, obviously, right? The only way the shadow leaves is if you shine a light on from every angle to obliterate the shadow, right? But yeah, the shadow stays with you. Let's see.
Moving shadow.
There's not really a lot to comment on. Again, the scene with Little Man, or this scene right here. Again, I've already commented on the duality. You have in this cathedral space the interplay of cold and heat, and male and female in these regards as complementary opposites, right?
Then slip away. Moving.
And here you have the picture of a healthy family, right? A regal family. This almost like a palace, to be perfectly honest, which makes sense because Joshi is if I remember correctly, a theocrat, right? I think he might be a monarchist, but I'm not entirely sure, right? I didn't notice the dragonfly on the Yuna dress. Interesting. So yeah, you got a Little Man down there, and you got everyone dressed in their best except for Little Man, who's just allowed to be cute, to be perfectly honest, right? And again, you got here just everyone vibing, spending time with each other, just enjoying the safe space of a cosmic basement. Fucking hell, mate. All right, man. When Lusty Lynx had that went and got all the Skybrows and locked them in their basement, I managed to escape. I managed to not be in the dungeon video. Oh, that's all I gotta say. I managed to escape capture, right? Because I am a weaselly bastard.
Black and blue, closer than the truth I knew.
That's a slight variation of the lyrics. It's meaningful. Black and blue, closer to the truth. Closer to the truth I knew, right? So it's not necessarily the truth. The black and blue aren't necessarily the true, but it's closer to the true that I knew, right? So we're talking perspectival now. Again, we've already talked about this part. The use of ember, literally fire, and Lord Intellectual. We have, again, blue for Lord Intellectual, and the yellowish, orange, reddish colors for ember. Complementary colors, they don't clash. And one is seen as cooler than the other, which is warmer. The ruins of society, right? For the South African to walk through. Hopefully, the South African may not need to endure the ruins of their society in order for things to get better, but, shit happens. And I did just notice this. This took me a bit. Play actually managed to get the character correct, because the thing is that's not a mask. Oof. Gaming Sin's character design has jet black skin, right? Unnaturally black skin. He actually managed to get this correct. A lot of people struggle sometimes with Gaming Sin's character design. let's see. Runia says, "Hey, this dress is my design." That's fair, right? It's a good dress design, by the way. I prompted Art Nouveau dress. Brilliant, to be perfectly honest, and made it add Dragonfly itself. I mean, to be fair, Art Nouveau is known for its curves and sinuous forms, right? So it does make sense. Let's see. Boo Huckley says, "Every fair I chase, you stay, stretching enough and slip away." God damn it, you. And yeah, we have like here the duality is between the scene with Gaming Sin. Again, this is a ruined society in the midst of conflict, right? You're walking through a war zone, basically, right? This is the closest thing to hell you can get to. And which is actually kind of funny, actually. Hold on. Is that supposed to be a nun? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that character does seem to be kind of like a stylized anime nun character, right? So... And then you have like the hopeful view of the future that's been posed by Skybrows in a lot of his videos with, again, AI not necessarily, with AI being something that'll revolutionize human life through the creation of a super intelligence that does not have to be malevolent, right? And again, you have the two people right here. Play Astronomical and Skybrows being, again, people trying to concretize their own metaphysic, trying to bring about their own view of man and his life into the world through their artistic production. And again, here they test their metal against each other, right? This is a very anime-esque fight. And again, the whole point that it was like a training session is like at the very end of the thing. It's very obviously a training session at the beginning, right? Like training round one over. All right. So, woo, the medicine is starting to kick in. Fuck, what was I saying? So yeah, I think I got all the lyrics in that one. I'm gonna go through it one more time to see if there's anything I missed or anything that I can think of. But I think I got most of it that time. Let's see. That's a nice oak door. It would make a great it would make great firewood, right?
Moving shadows.
So I just realized that that Play turned the Korsha into a dog, which is interesting because the Korsha is but merely a Korsha, right? But it also might have just been a compromise he had to make with the AI, to be perfectly honest. I would imagine keeping the Korsha would be a absolute pain in the ass, to be perfectly honest.
Climb and fall, running circles on my wall. Every step I take, they sway, following then fade away.
Oh, that was lip synced. I didn't even notice that the first time.
Every step I take, they sway, following then fade away.
Yeah, that was actually lip synced. That was actually kind of interesting. You can see the lip rounding, especially in the word way, actually.
Every step I take, they sway, following then fade away.
Yeah, fade away was very clearly lip synced. AI has difficulty with the Korsh. I know, that's what I was saying, right? And yeah, again, there's the interplay between the heat and the hot colors and the cool colors. The hot colors in the back, the cool colors forwarded, except for in Leaflet's eyes, where all three of them have warm colors and not warm, specifically hot colors in the eye. That's still, it's like, okay, I get she's blowing a kiss, but it's like that is one wet and sloppy kiss. Holy fuck.
It's black and blue, always right behind the truth. On the wall they stretch and bend, long and thin like tired friends. Chairs and coats become
interesting. Hold on. I did notice. I'm just noticing this about this house.
thin like tired.
this is again, it's not just that the colors are muted, it is a very drab and unpleasing place to look at. There's like no, whatever minimal decoration there is just abstract, meaningless nonsense. Just look at the painting on the wall, right? There's two paintings on the there's actually three paintings on the wall, which are completely illegible in terms of form. They don't actually represent anything, right? God damn it, Boo Huckley. Follow enough and fare away.
Friends, chairs and coats become tall ghosts, dancing slow
Oh, there's a clothes rack in the background there too.
across the posts, moving shadows, climb and fall, running circles on my wall. Every step I take they sway, following then fade away, moving shadows, black and blue always right behind the truth.
Black and blue always behind the truth.
Kitchen light and hallway door, turn the rug into a shore. My own hands look far from mine when they blur across the blinds.
So my own hands look far from mine when they blur across the blind. It's an interesting set of lyricism, to be perfectly honest, right? So my own hands, right? My own body look far from mine, right? So it's like there's a dissociation between the self, like one, like the hand and the self. But when they, okay, hold on. When they blur across the blind. So it's like, again, the blur here is the loss of clarity. That's literally what a blur is, a loss of clarity, which is a thing to avoid in the arts in general, right? You don't want things to be muddied, you want things to be clear. Nightwave Fantasy said the truth can be painful a lot of times. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, right? That's why I'm not really like harping on the black and blue thing, right? It's like very obviously what they're getting at here. When they blur across the blind. So across the blind, because across can mean two different things. Across can mean through, but it can also just mean it can also just mean like perpendicular to, so it can mean perpendicular to, but it can also mean parallel to. And they blur across the blind. So in that case, it would make more sense if this line means perpendicular and not parallel. It's like through the blind, right? I know, I'm gonna have to think about that.
Cross the blinds, moving shadows, climb and fall, running circles on my wall. Every step I take they sway, following then fade away, moving shadows.
That man will never outlive the allegations. And I only just noticed this, but Feeble's not even in this image for the entire time. There's a flicker and a flash here, which changes the setting. Yeah, right here. So he's actually not even in this when the shadow and everything's presented in the first place. It's only after a flicker of light that Feeble actually appears in the image, and everyone else ends up coming by as a result.
Black and blue always right behind the truth.
Ah, hold on. The eyes are both illuminated, but with two different colors, but only one of them actually has beams of light that actually comes out of them. So obviously the eye on the left-hand side is a bluish color, and the eye on the right-hand side is a golden-ish color, I think. Which I guess is kind of, you know what, this kind of mirrors the sun and the moon, right? Which is a common motif in mythology, where the eyes of a deity are analogized as the sun and the moon, with one being the right and the other one being the left, or the use of silver and gold, for example, in alchemy, right? Let's see. Do you mean moving past a blind spot? Well, that's what the song might be referring to, because it's not me that was, because those lyrics aren't mine. Those were Play's lyrics. Hold on, let's go back here.
Turn the rug into a shore. My own hands look far from mine when they blur across the blinds.
Now, because it's the blinds per se, it gives me an idea of, like, again, this is something that can be intentionally opened and closed, right? So it's a blind spot that is chosen, if you will, right? It's information that can be allowed into or not, based off of the decision of a person to see the thing or not, right? But I digress. That's what I got from that. Hold on. Gold and silver. Yeah, the colors on, well, I mean, I guess I'm taking chat's word for it, but the colors allegedly in Cinny's eyes here, right? I'm taking chat's word for it that it's gold and silver. And actually, funny enough, there's gold ornaments in her hair, it seems. Yeah, there's gold ornaments in her hair. So it might actually be gold. That actually might be exactly what it is.
Are you just a trick of light, or the parts I hide at night?
So it is psychoanalysis. That is the thing that we need to be paying attention to. So are you just a trick of light, or the parts I hide at night, right? So again, that leads into the psychoanalytic, specifically the Jungian psychoanalytic, reading of the shadow as all those parts about yourself that you don't like, so you suppress them into your subconscious. That way you don't have to see them, right? So are you just a trick of light, or parts I hide at night, right? So the trick of light part is also kind of interesting too, because that's effectively what a shadow is. It is effectively just a trick of light, right? The shadows don't exist in and of themselves. They are not a thing in themselves, right? They are merely the absence of a thing. So yeah, it's an interesting little turn here.
If I face the dark alone, will you leave me or come home?
And again, here's the part where, again, the psychoanalytic reading actually makes more sense. Because, again, if you're talking about a trick of light, then this line doesn't really make any sense. It's like, it's just mystical mumbo-jumbo, right? But if you're talking about, hold on, if you're talking about the, like, the idea of the suppressed self, right? Then, yes, this makes a lot more sense. Because the suppressed self is, in a sense, an other that is contained within the self. Yes, continue. Hold on. I am going to find something in just a bit. Hold on. Because, okay, let's see. Entire work. Okay. This is taking forever to load. Okay, there we go. You have to be fucking kidding me. Okay, hold on. This should be it. Oh, come the fuck on. There we go. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Almost there. Okay, let's forward a couple of times. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I just had to wait for the rest of the page to load. Okay, so there's a important line from Friedrich Nietzsche that is actually, because Friedrich Nietzsche is got a lot of bad advice, but there is also, on occasion, he's, broken clock is right twice a day, right? The whole idea of be careful when you cast out your demons, lest you throw away the best of yourself, right? Be careful that, like, when you're, again, addressing your own shadow, that you don't accidentally throw away what is actually the best of you, right? This is why the advice is not actually to try to throw away the shadow, but to step into and through the shadow, to help to healthily integrate the shadow, right? Think of it as like think of the shadow as like a friend who has a lot of harsh things but true things to say that need to be actually taken in order to progress in the growth of yourself as a person. When YouTube was going to tell me you were on, I have no idea. YouTube's being weird, right? Hold on. Philip says, oh shit, hold on. I thought you were, wait, yeah, okay. How are you? Been a lot, HBU. Let's see. Oh, fair enough. Philip says, good, thank you. Okay, fair enough.
Moving shadows.
That's just so funny. That's just so cute and enduring. Just, oh my god.
Climb and fall, running circles on my wall. Every fear I chase, you stay. Stretching out, then slip away. Moving shadows. Black and blue, closer than the truth I knew.
So black and blue, closer than the truth I knew. Again, so this is interesting again, because like if the shadow is all those parts of yourself that you don't particularly like, right, but are still following you, right, because they're your shadow, then yeah, they are closer than the truth you knew, right? Because funny enough, the truth that you knew is whatever you convinced yourself was true in trying to negate your shadow instead of actually trying to step through and integrate your shadow, right? So in a sense that, yeah, the shadow is actually closer than the truth, quote unquote, that you knew. Because that truth was, forged with, in denial of something else that was true, specifically the existence and nature of your own shadow. I do like how Play's swings almost look like dimensional cuts, right? Like from an old school anime, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cut through space and time, right? Okay, so that is gonna be my, because I've already gone 3 times over this. My assessment of this is, again, this is largely about, again, this is more of a psychoanalytic song than anything else. This is about the interplay between the shadow in yourself, right, and the shadow in others, right? That other people can be as shadows in your life, but ultimately speaking, you have to have a particular relationship with the shadow in your own life in order to actually make the best of yourself, right? Because denying your own shadow is an act of self-deception, and it does you no good to deny what is true about yourself, because if you deny what's true about yourself, then if it's bad, you can't actually work to fix it, and if it's good, well, then denying it holds you back, right? And there are times where people just don't like parts of themselves that are just objectively good, right? That are just objectively good things to have. That crazy motherfucker on that video, the thumbnail, is holding a blue-ringed octopus, and it is filling me with anxiety. Holy crap. Let's see. They would totally play these on MTV back when it was good. They really would. Like, yes, I actually agree. If these things were being produced back in the day in MTV, I think that they actually would play a lot of these songs. Oh, how times have changed, right? So, yeah, that is my assessment of these songs. Hold on, I'm gonna read something just before I log off, just to make sure that I've covered all my bases. Let's see. Add detail. Do not click spoiler. The giant cross in your cameo scene is. Oh shit! I didn't know about this. I'm glad that I actually didn't read this thing that I was sent. Okay, so this is a real object. Hold on. Because I didn't know this, because I may come from Texas, but you know, that doesn't mean I know everything about Texas. Texas is, you know, fucking huge. Let's see. Now, you know what? I'm just gonna go. We're gonna go to Wikipedia for a moment, and then we're gonna pull up something, because this is, again, okay. Yeah, that was a real object. This is the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ in Groom, Texas. And yeah, you know what? I may have actually been right about my thing about this being about the shadow as well, right? In a psychoanalytic sense, because I've just been informed shadows, you know, about shade and comfort. You know, because he's absolutely right, right? And it's like in Texas especially, right? It gets fucking hot. And yeah, the shadow doesn't just block the life-giving light. It also, you know, provides protection from the scorching heat. A cosmic analysis of B-movie win. I would lose my mind, right? I would absolutely lose my mind. Hello, Kura, right? Hello, Kinnock. Video more stable over here? Hopefully. I didn't realize it was unstable somewhere else. Is it unstable on one of the other ones? I can't really do anything about that, but hold on. Let me check something. It says it's good on Twitch. Oh, it says it's unstable on Kick. Okay, yeah, that's a bad sign. I never know what's going on, because like anytime it's stable in one, it's unstable somewhere else, right? I have no fucking clue. I might have to go visit at some point, right? But yeah, I didn't realize this was a real place, because I've never been to Groom, Texas, and I've never really heard of this particular landmark. Last two streams have been terrible on Twitch and Kick. Ah, god damn it, I have no idea why. I'll have to troubleshoot as to exactly why. So yeah, so this is apparently like this is apparently me in the presence of the cross of our Lord in Groom, Texas. I didn't realize that was a real place. Okay, apparently things are going poorly on YouTube as well. I don't know what's going on. That's oh my god. YouTube is deciding to be a bastard as well, it seems. Okay, so yeah. So I've learned something today. But yeah, that actually again fits in. Hold on, Wyoming ain't as big, but I haven't been everywhere in my state either. I mean, to be fair, Texas is like the second largest state. No, literally nowhere else in the United States is as big as Texas, except for Alaska. Right? But we could literally split Texas, and we even have the legal authority, according to the, again, joint resolution that allowed us to join, to split ourselves into 5 states without congressional approval. And those states would still be pretty fucking large, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I did not know this. This actually does also put a different context in here, because I know Play Astronomical is like a religious person himself, right? So this is itself a meaningful decision to put this in the video. And again, as he pointed out, you know, giving shade to the heat, to, you know, those accosted by the heat. The tortoise and fair enough. Calm down, Buhokli. So yeah, that is my assessment of Moving Shadows by a collaboration between Play Astronomical and Skybrows. What the fuck does this say? Hold on. I am an extremely authentic AI slop Aladdin. God damn it. That's a great... Why didn't I think of that word? God damn it. Alaska is basically a third of the lower 48. Pretty much, yeah. The cowboy hat is fitting. Would you believe it if I told you I actually don't wear a Stetson, right? Although it probably would help if I actually went outside. So yes, I believe this is actually a really good piece of art. I actually quite like this play. Continue to make absolute bangers like this, and I hope I was able to get as much as I was able to out of this. Just again, towards the end, it was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is more of a psychoanalytic story, video than anything else. But that's just my assessments. That's just my assumption. If I'm totally wrong, feel free to correct me in the comment section, right? But this is really good. And again, everyone else, I can't wait to see where y'all are able to take the AI. Let's see. A Texan not wearing one, isn't that heretical? I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not exactly a normal person, right?